Welcome back into Be a GM mode today. Let me share my screen. Also brought to you by Stick the Model. Great website, great simulator that he has. Today, we're going to be going and doing the 2026 offseason for the Kansas City Chiefs, where we cut players, sign free agents, and run the 2026 draft, and they will spit out a grade at the end of it. I know that the Chiefs just recently restructured Patrick Mahomes' contract and gave him a ton of money. So the $11 million cap space situation here obviously isn't reality, but we will try to fix that once we get in here. And the Kansas City Chiefs are weird. Patrick Mahomes goes down with an ACL injury. He's hurt. And they say that he's going to come back soon. I would rather to see him. He's got a long career ahead of him. I'd rather see him not rush back. And the reason I say that is because I think the Kansas City Chiefs are in a lot worse place than people think. Their O-line's bad. They have a bad running game. Their wide receivers are streaky. Xavier Worthy in the first round was a big swing and a big miss. Rashee Rice is very good, but has off the field problems constantly, it feels like. And then their defense as well. They're going to be losing a lot of players to free agency, some of the linebackers who played really well for them, and then some of their marquee players that they paid, such as like a George Karlaftis, isn't an elite player. And then just two big things right off the bat. Travis Kelce still wants to stick around, even though he's probably over the hump, and they can't really get him out of the building. And then same thing with Chris Jones. Chris Jones is now going to be 32 years old this season. So this team's older. They're losing a lot of their younger talent. And overall, it's just not that great of a team. But let's go in here and let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs. And the first thing that I really want to do here is we should restructure some of these contracts. And I think that that's completely fair. Let's restructure Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how this works. Amount to convert. Standard. Spread over 5 years. It's looking like we're not going to be able to do what they did, but let's just restructure this contract because he did get restructured this offseason. It's not going to open up $40 million for us, but again, we can figure this out here. Jawan Taylor, we can save $19 million if we cut him. I hate Jawan Taylor. I'm sure a lot of people do as well, where he's always jumping off sides. He's just not a very good player. So I'm going to actually cut Jawan Taylor just because I just don't think he's a very good player. So boom, let's get rid of him. That gives us some money to work with. And then let's just continue to go down here. Drew Tranquill's 30 years old. This team's old. It's really crazy how old this team's getting. I think probably somebody who is fair that we should restructure is Travis Kelce is a pending free agent. And we would have to, what would a franchise tag look like? $16 million, and he wants 17. I mean, that's brutal. Extend and restructure that saves $4 million. I think that where else is Travis Kelce going to play? I think just giving him, can we just give him $5 million flat? That saves us $8.2 million. He's 36 years old. Let's bring him back on a 1-year contract. Let's extend and restructure this guy. Just add one more year to his deal. So boom, we're bringing back Travis Kelce. It seems like they're going to do that regardless. Let's just go into the wide receivers here. Again, some pending free agents: Marquise Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton. None of these players are that great. Same here with Rashee Rice. I would love to extend him. Like if you were to ask me, like, is he going to be really good? I do. I just think there's just such a question mark about who he could be. Seems like a little bit of a wild card from a personality standpoint. So let's just stay away from that currently. And let's go back to the full scope of this roster here. Can we restructure Chris Jones because just to make up for some of the money that like we would get otherwise from Patrick Mahomes? I think that that's fair. Let's do this $23 million and restructure it. So that's $35 million. Can we get $5 million elsewhere? Jalen Moore, we can cut him. Drew Tranquill's an interesting one. Let's continue to look at some of these players that they have here. It's a weak roster. I feel like not that many people talk about how weak of a roster this is. Just because Mahomes has been able to mask so many of their issues over the last like few years. It's almost like what are you talking about? Like the Chiefs are really good. It's like they win close games. They're coached really well, but I wouldn't say that they're a great, well constructed roster. Jalen Moore is an interesting one to cut. I mean, he gets 7 point. Can we restructure him? I mean, he doesn't even play. Let's just add one void year. That'll get us to that $40 million mark. So boom, we just opened up $40 million, similar to what they did in real life. We cut some players and we restructured a few contracts around here. And I feel like that's completely fair. We also gave Travis Kelce a contract below market value. Is that crazy? I don't think so. Where else is he going to play? What else is he going to do? It feels like he doesn't have much leverage in this situation. It's either he retires or he takes a pay cut and stays on this same team, which again, I would want him to retire because there's some good tight ends in this free agent class. I mean, Kyle Pitts just got franchise tagged, so that hurts. But like an Isaiah Likely would be very interesting in Kansas City, but it looks like that this is going to be the direction that they stay with. So we made one cut. We restructured 3 contracts to make up to that $40 million mark, and then we extended Travis Kelce to just a 1-year contract here. So let's look at some trades that we have here, and it looks like we have a ton on the board. Bobby Okereke, good on that, not giving up all those picks. Cole Kmet's an interesting one, not giving up all those picks. Jordan Brooks, same situation here. Kayshon Boutte is interesting, not giving up pick 74 for him. And then Noah Gray, I don't know why everybody wants him so much. I mean, at this point, Noah Gray's old, and if somebody who's offering the best pick at this point, Carolina's offering 2 picks for him. I'm just going to accept this deal. Why not? We would have to extend. Oh, I just clicked the wrong one. Wait, did I just click 2? Restructure 2 void years. I didn't mean to hit that. I don't know what just happened. Okay, so for some reason, I accidentally just hit this, but it is what it is. I don't think we can go back. So let's just act like that didn't happen. We should still have pick number 74 and Colby Parkinson. But we just got rid of Noah Gray, freed up some more cap space, and took in picks 119 and 199. I mean, if they're offering it, let's just take it. Build our own. Are there any trades that we can possibly make here that make sense? And I just want to go through this roster of some potential players, and probably not, to be completely honest with you. They're probably going to end up keeping Xavier Worthy. That might be somebody that if I were in this position, I would probably consider moving just because he's not that great, and maybe we can get some decent value for him before it completely falls flat. But I don't think that there's much to do here, so let's continue. Keontae Ingram. Confirmed tenders. We're good on that. And then we have some of our pending free agents here. Josh Williams, Marquise Brown, Jalen Watson. He's a good player. Leo Chanel's a really good player. And Young, Tyquan Thornton. Probably the biggest one that I want here. A lot of these guys I'm okay with walking. I want Isaiah Pacheco gone. I want a lot of these guys gone. The first person that I'm going to be prioritized signing, just because he's played a lot of football for us, he's really good, and that's Leo Chanel. Not going to franchise tag him. He's 26 years old. Let's give him a 3-year deal. Let's give him 2% below market. No, let's just give him market value. I'm always trying to like save a quick buck for no reason. Let's make this offer to him, and he signed 3 years, $11 million deal. Okay, we just signed a player for us who's pretty good, and the rest of these guys I'm okay with letting walk. I like Jalen Watson, but not enough to bring him back at that number. Can we upgrade at that position at that point? Potentially. So really the biggest needs that I have here listed is like offensive line, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, and secondary. I feel like we addressed the linebacker situation slightly. Wide receiver is interesting because there's some good players that are on the board right now, but it's just like, what do they take at this point? So let's look here. Tyreek Hill would be one that I would consider, but again, he's so old. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to sign Mike Evans to a 1-year deal. This makes sense timeline wise, and this is also considering that Patrick Mahomes comes back right away. He's back week 1 of the season. I think that's probably the report. This fits the mold of what the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to do. They're in win. As me, if I were the GM, I would probably take the time to start having some conversations about really rebuilding this roster and doing what's best. But for them, I know that they're going to be in win now mode no matter what. So let's make some win now moves. So Mike Evans automatically raises the level of this wide receiver room. And I mean, if you have Mike Evans, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and Travis Kelce, I mean, as long as Mike Evans stays healthy, I think that's a really good signing. So let's confirm that to a 1-year deal. Way better than Tyreek Hill, who isn't even going to be healthy. He still has to get another surgery. So let's continue with doing this now. So another thing that I want to do is let's look at some options that we have on the O-line. And really the biggest issue that they have had this offseason is, I mean, not this offseason, over the last like 2-3 years, they have not been able to evaluate talent among the offensive line very well. Now, at the same time, Josh Simmons looks pretty good. They took Kingsley Suamatoa. They have the Josh Simmons. They have pieces along this line, and I think some pieces that will be starters for them. They signed Jalen, the guy from San Francisco last year that we restructured at this. I want those guys to be amongst like our starters. So I'm just going to add one player here because, again, you still have Creed Humphrey, you still have Trey Smith. So let's add a guard. And what makes sense? What is, I think probably, again, somebody older. I like the idea of Josh Jones, actually. Josh Jones just got off a Super Bowl winning team. He's 29 years old. Let's give him a 3-year deal. 1% above market, and boom. So we just got that. And again, that's what the idea that, I forget his name. I think it's Jalen Moore from San Fran, who they signed last year. That's what the idea that he is going to be playing at a high level. Not a high level, but a starter caliber level at right tackle. Josh Simmons comes back next season and plays well. I know he missed some time last year. Kingsley Suamatoa still does his thing. Trey Smith's pretty good still. Creed Humphrey. And then we add in somebody here. And let's just hope that those tackle situations get figured out. Okay. So let's go now into the running back market. And this is the most interesting one because something that I think that the Chiefs need desperately is a run game, and stop asking Patrick Mahomes to do so much. And can you get a work like a cowbell type running back? And Javonte Williams is off the market, and somebody who I would really love to see go to a team like this is Rico Dowdle, and I think we signed him to a 2-year deal. I think that number sounds about right, and let's sign him to a deal. And I know that it's still a gamble because he's not great, but some of the heights that he reached last season showed that he's a step above what they have already. And then another sneaky play here who will be a good rotational piece is Sean Tucker, 25 years old. He's super good. This will bring our cap down a decent amount here, but I need this guy on my team. There's no doubt about it. Now let's look at some, I feel like we just handled the O-line, running back, wide receiver we handled, and I have linebacker and secondary. So let's see if there's any way that we can figure this out. Edge probably too. Like, can we figure out something to do here at the edge? Khalil Mack would be very interesting. I mean, it makes sense money-wise. Jalen Phillips is 27 years old. This is what I like here. I'm going to do Jalen Phillips for a 2-year deal. Again, $1.3 million. Our cap is going to be wired tight. But again, we're in win now mode. We set this up to free up some cap space and bring some players in. And I like that we just handled the edge situation here. Is there anybody that we can bring in at secondary to help us out? Or are we just broke? Yeah, we're broke. That's fine. Antonio Hamilton, not looking good. And then is there anybody that we can – who's this guy? Darius Slay. Darius Slay, you're coming in. You're coming into a team. Let's go and see if there's anybody that we can do at linebacker. We're broke. Okay, we're broke, and that's completely fine. We knew that that was going to be the case. We need corner. Maybe we take that in the draft. So let's continue to the draft here. We're going to do just the quick draft, first round only, and no reason to do the entire thing. Let's start the draft. Boom. And we have pick number 9. So let's just see how this has played out so far. Jeremiah Love's gone. Jordan Tyson, Spencer Fano, Caleb Downs. That would have been somebody that I would love to have if I was the Kansas City Chiefs. Carnell Tate, Arvell Reese, Mendoza's gone off the board. Now, this is interesting. We have some options at corner. We have some options at edge. And I'm thinking, like, just what's most important. What's the most important position? Ruben Bain has already been jumping off the page at the NFL Combine. I'm going to take Ruben Bain at this pick. I mean, if he falls to us, we get another edge. We have Jalen Phillips, Ruben Bain, and George Karlaftis as well. Pressuring the quarterback is the most. Obviously, new cap health, we knew it was going to be a problem. 14 out of 25. Needs fulfilled, 24 out of 30. Future outlook, 15 out of 20. 25 out of 25. We improved the cap by cutting one player, restructuring 4 contracts, and extending one player. The biggest move was releasing Jawan Taylor. We saved $19.5 million. We traded Noah Gray in exchange for 2026 pick 119 and pick 199. We did not trade for Kobe Parkinson, but he's going to be on our team right now. So we gave him up for pick number 74. Questionable move here. And in free agency, we made 7 signings, headlined by bringing back Leo Chanel on $11 million per year deal. And then we selected Ruben Bain Jr. from Miami with our first pick in the first round. And our cap is extremely tight. We restructures, added $32.9 million in future dead money. So boom, let's go into this updated depth chart here and make some moves. Shaderick Powell. What a name. What an absolutely crazy name that is. Okay. Let's go into here. I'm going to go really how I want to play this is receiver 1, Mike Evans. And then I'm putting Rashee Rice as wide receiver 3 because my idea is to have him in as a slot wide receiver here. And then Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce. And then boom, we got Colby Parkinson here as our second string. And then our offensive line we talked about here. Let's move this around because we have Josh Jones now. This is interchangeable. So honestly, I think we put Kingsley Suamatoa at right tackle. Jalen Moore will be a backup. Then we slot Josh Jones in at left guard, and that's going to be our offensive line here. I think it looks better. Again, this is very dependent on the fact is Josh Jones take a step forward. Does Kingsley Suamatoa, can he take a step forward? And can we figure this out? They still have Wanya Morris. I mean, this is crazy. Some of the players that they have still on this team. So now from the defensive perspective, right DN. Boom. Jalen Phillips. Can he be a high-end rotational piece here? Darius Slay will be a rotational piece as well. Again, this defense definitely has some weak spots. So that's why we took Ruben Bain. That's why we took Jalen Phillips, because can we make pressuring the quarterback a priority with George Karlaftis, Jalen Phillips, Chris Jones, and Ruben Bain Jr. and try to mask some of our problems? So I think our front 8 are extremely strong. We obviously have Trent McDuffie, who plays at a high level, but Leo Chanel, Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquill, Ruben Bain Jr., Norman Lott. I mean, we probably could have upgraded that, but Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Jalen Phillips, and then having that rotation. I like that. So let's continue here. If you guys want to stop here and look at this, I'm not going to go over all of it, but you guys watched us open up all the cap, spend all the cap, and how much money we have left here. This offseason, we restructured one contract, we cut one player, restructured 4 contracts, extended one, made 2 trades, and signed 7 free agents, and then made 1 draft pick. The cut that we made was Jawan Taylor. We talked about it already. Patrick Mahomes, we restructured his contract. Chris Jones, we restructured his. Jalen Moore, we restructured his. And then we restructured Kobe Parkinson upon taking him in. We extended Travis Kelce. Those are the 2 trades that we made that we talked about. And then some of the signings that we made a priority to re-sign a 26-year-old guy who's been here for a long time, Leo Chanel. We got Mike Evans in, I feel like big boom bust potential, because if it works, I think him and Patrick Mahomes could be a very interesting combo if he can stay healthy. Josh Jones, brought him in at guard. Rico Dottle, brought him in at running back. Sean Tucker, running back too, to really build that up. Jalen Phillips with the edge, and then Darius Slay, just a complete dart throw because we just needed a cheap corner. And then we took Ruben Bain Jr. We got a B+ on this offseason on the 2026 offseason grade. What would you give this? And again, remember to like, comment, subscribe if you're liking this series. Also, go and check out Stick to the Model and do your own offseason for 2026 for any team across the NFL. Again, thanks for watching.
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks.